Yes, in a couple of days, it's going to be bye-bye to 2023, and we will be welcoming 2024. It was a great year in the world of sports, and I'm sure we all had a fantastic ride with 2023. 2024 will bring bigger and better tidings. Talking about 2024, the biggest football spectacle on the continent of Africa will be taking place in Cote d'Ivoire on the 13th of January precisely. It is going to be the African Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles of Nigeria in Group A alongside the host country, Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. What are the chances of Jose Pesero's boys? And we're taking a look at that on the show today. Talking about the show, it is the biggest, it is the best sports show anywhere on the planet. Welcome to Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise. I'm sure you had a fantastic weekend. And of course, your week has started on a great footing. On the rundown today, we're taking a look at the chances of the Super Eagles of Nigeria going to the 2024 African Cup of Nations. Plenty of football from the European scenes, and of course, we'll touch on other sports on the show. I'm not alone in the building. I have my guest, I have my guy, Bolu. I'll be welcoming Bolu on the second half of the show. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll delve into action. Don't change the dial. Sports Pizza. Welcome back, Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise, and with me on set today is Boluwaji Jegede. Bolu, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, Edwin. Good morning.
You're looking good.
Yeah, thanks. And you
Plenty
too?
money.
Good to be here again.
Yeah, it's almost in a couple of days going to be Christmas.
Yeah.
Plenty of chicken, plenty of merriment. Just do a bit of nostalgia. What's your fondest Christmas memory?
Yeah, for my fondest Christmas memory, I think back then was when we traveled all back to the village and, meeting, our grannies, and it was a fun fest and something that I enjoyed because you had so many to eat and drink and wine and, to see our loved ones. So I think that was it for me.
All right, so interesting one for me. Yeah, it was all about unboxing the gifts, eating plenty of chicken and having fun with your friends. Let's get back to action. I just wanted to put that on the lighter note. All right, it's not official yet, but the 55-man provisional roster for the AFCON from reliable sources, we hear that it's out already. And it has caused a stir on the social space. Super Eagles fans, football fans have been talking about it. And it's down to the omission of two MPFL players. I'm talking about Doma United's informed goalkeeper Kingdom Osai and Bendel Insurance's goalkeeper Amos Obasoge. Both didn't make the cut, but Christian Nwoke of Sporting Lagos and Olorunleke Ojo of Enyimba made the cut, according to the feelers that I got from our source. What's your take on this?
Yeah, we know that the Super Eagles goalkeeper role is there's a lot of big question around it, and which has been sorted since Vincent Yema left the national.
Or hasn't been sorted.
Or hasn't been sorted, yeah, since Yema left the national team. So I think Christian Nwoke, if he's been included in that provisional list, I think he deserves it as well. He has been one of the best goalkeeper in the MPFL this season, and all of this started back then in the preseason. And you look at the other goalkeeper, talking about Sai Kingdom. He has also given a good account of himself, keeping the most clean sheet in the league. He also has got a shout, but again, it's left to Jose Pesero. I think he has seen something different from all of these goalkeepers, to include Christian Nwoke ahead of the rest.
I find it weird that a goalkeeper prior to the loss against Lobby Stars had kept 9 consecutive clean sheets. He kept 11 clean sheets in 13 games, conceded in just 2 games before that loss to Lobby. I find it weird that he didn't at least make the provisional list. How do you reward meritocracy if you are meeting a goalkeeper that has kept the most clean sheet, and not just that, has been one of the most consistent players in the NPFL.
Yeah, for Jose Peseiro, a lot of questions has been asked as regards, the selection of players. How do you want to navigate all of the games he had played in the past? And now another question beckons with this goalkeeping position. I think Osai Kingdom, with all of the clean sheet, not just keeping the clean sheet, he had made some incredible saves. The game against Remo Stars in Ikene comes to mind. The incredible saves he had at the pick a point in that game. I think he deserves to be there ahead of Christian Woke, but it's left to him, as I said earlier. He has seen these two goalkeepers, I think, during the preseason, and he has seen what they could do. I don't know if he had traveled to Gombe to actually watch him play again, but I feel with what I've seen from these two goalkeepers, I think Osai Kingdom deserves to be in this provisional list, at least for just to make the list if he's not going to make the final cut ahead of the AFCON.
Talking about the goalkeepers, because I want us to talk about this, will it be a travesty if Francis Uzoho remains the #1 for the Super Eagles going to the AFCON?
It will be a big problem. I think it will be a travesty, as you said, because he has made so many errors.
You are becoming emotional, Bolu.
No, I'm not emotional. It's there for everyone to see. He has made so many errors. It cost us during the qualifier for the World Cup, cost us at the last AFCON, and he still committed some errors in previous games. So it's there for the receipt is there for everyone to see.
Okay, so in his defense, he was not the goalkeeper at the AFCON. It was Maduka Okoye who didn't make the cut. But I get your point.
Yeah.
Not so convincing performances from Francis
So
Uzoho.
other goalkeepers should be given a chance.
Finally, releasing a 55-man roster in less than a month to the biggest football tournament on the continent, I think it's a sign of irresponsibility. Because having 55 players coming to camp, #1, you're going to pay them, you're going to feed them, you're going to give them camp allowances. At the end of the day, you're going to drop 28 of the 55 because the most number of players you can take is 27. So why invite 28 more when you know that you're going to drop them? And of course, you're going to a major tournament. You should have at least 80% of your team. Why invite 55?
Jose Peseiro, really,
You think this is down to Jose Peseiro?
Maybe the NFF also have a say. We can't say from here, but I think it's far-fetched. I think it's too much because 55 players, you're going to waste a lot of money, in terms of hospitality, for these players, and it's just too much. I don't think other African countries like South Africa will want to do, because again, you've used in the last couple of games, the squad he had listed for this thing has been more. So he has already had, at least he had 20 players that he knows that he's going to make the squad. So why invite more players that we don't even know of? And let's say it goes with him, but I really don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, like I said, you don't go into a major tournament inviting 55 players. You should have at least 80 to 70% of your squad. Away from the Super Eagles of Nigeria, quickly, Bolu, in a couple of minutes, we'll touch on the NPFL. And Lobby Stars versus Doma United was the pick of the week for me. I don't know if it was for you. Lobby Stars reasserted dominance back at the top of the league. Yeah,
for Lobby Stars, it was great for them getting back to winning ways. And against an informed side, Doma United, the early goal was what did the job for them. Scoring that early goal disgruntled and had a toll on Doma United, and they couldn't respond, and they got the second goal in the second half, which was great. They are second on the log, and they're back to winning ways. Yeah, other results from the Nigerian Premier Football League: Enugu Rangers defeated Sporting Lagos, who are in 13th position, 2-0. Kano Pillars defeated Remo Stars, 2-1. Kwara United and Niger Tornadoes played out a goalless draw. Abia Warriors defeated Shooting Stars. It was a 5-goal thriller, ended 3-2 in favor of the Warriors. Heartland defeated Aqua United in a relegation 6-pointer, a lone goal to Heartland. Lobby Stars, like we said, defeated Doma United 2-1. Schonstein Stars and Gobe United played out a 1-1 draw. Plateau United, the biggest win of the weekend. They're easily dispatched by SR United 5-1, while Katsina United defeated Bendel Insurance by a lone goal. Before we go on a break, let's touch on tennis. Bolu, Novak Djokovic
yes, wasn't really happy that his manager, his coach, didn't win the coach of the year. Instead, it went to Yannick Sinas's coaches. They finished the year as the coach of the year. For Djokovic, he won 3 Grand Slam titles. He won the season-ending ATP finals, year-ending world number 1, 24th career Grand Slam, the most of any male player in history, and it's just tied on the same number with Margaret Court. What do you think? For Yannick Sinner, it was a fantastic year for him. He won his first Masters ATP Masters 1000 title in Toronto. Finished the year as runner-up to Novak Djokovic in the ATP finals and led Italy to their first Davis Cup win in decades. Where do you stand? Yannick Sinner's coaches or Novak Djokovic?
I think that's been Novak Djokovic for me, because you look at the quality Djokovic had produced this year. Winning those Grand Slams were tremendous and was great. I really don't know if they are looking out for breakout or players that surprised them the most in terms of the body in charge of these awards. But I think Djokovic coach deserves it.
All right, we'll go on a break. When we come back, there's more on the show. Don't change the dial. Sports Pizza. When we come back, we start off with the English Premier League. Who will win the league? The lead has been changing. Today is City, tomorrow is Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool. Right now it is Arsenal. Will they build on the fantastic performance against Brighton? Don't go nowhere. All right, welcome back. It's still your favorite sports show, Sports Pizza. Edwin still in the building alongside Boluwaji Jegede. Bolu, let's quickly touch down on the English Premier League. Arsenal currently top the standing. A week before that, it was Liverpool. Before that, it was Spurs. At some point, it was Manchester City. At the end of 38 games, looking at your crystal ball, who will get to the finish line? Not get to the finish line, who's going to cut the tape first?
I think it's very difficult to say from here. My crystal ball is not that clear because there are a lot of competitors. You look at Manchester City, who are defending champions. Liverpool are also there in the running. Arsenal, since last season, have shown that they also want to win the league. I think it's pretty difficult. But again, I'll also stick with Manchester City. All right,
talking about Manchester City, Bolu, the last time they kept a clean sheet in the Premier League, it was in late October. The last time they kept a clean sheet in recent time was against Young Boys in November in the Champions League. City have been conceding. They've showed frailties at the back. This is not the City that we saw last season. More importantly, City are not blowing teams away. I think it's going to be difficult for them to win 4 Premier League titles on a bounce based off this poor defensive stats and form.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them because you look at how they've conceded a lot of goals this season. Goals that they should have been avoided if they are going by what they played last season. But a lot of injury has crept into the team. John Stones has been out of the team. Diaz is out of form at this point. Gravadio has come into the side, has not really made that back line very solid. And you look at the attacking players as well. They've not actually replaced the likes of Riyad Mahrez and I can't remember the other player that left. Gundogan also from midfield. So all of these qualities are what helped them win the league last season, and they were consistent in those times when they won the league. So these are qualities that I don't know how Pep wants to do it. Will Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne be enough to challenge with Alvarez in the mix and also Grealish? I think it's difficult for them.
All right, for Arsenal against Brighton, perhaps it was the best performance yet this season. But my worry for Arsenal is their lack of ruthlessness in front of goal. Like I said, against Brighton, we saw the movement, we saw the pressing, we saw counter-pressing from Arsenal, but they lack that ruthlessness. I think if they keep up the performance like we saw against Brighton and the ruthlessness in front of goal, I don't think anyone will stop Arsenal this season. Yeah,
the performance has been great. It must be said. They've been doing so well. They've been creating a lot of chances. But converting those chances is where the problem lies now. Saka has to step up. Odegaard also has to step up in terms of the goals. Martinelli has been here and there. He also has to step up. Gabriel Jesus, we don't know exactly where this guy wants to play. Before you know, you see him in the midfield. If, in thinking of Van Gaal, you see him on the wing as well. He's not a goal poacher, if I want to put it that way, and all of this has to be sorted. I don't know how Mikel Arteta has to balance all of this, because if you compare, at this time last season, they've scored, I think they've had double numbers in terms of goals and assists from all of these players I've listed, and all of this has to step up if they want to win the league, because goals surely matters. All right,
for Liverpool, it was a toothless performance in front of goal against Manchester United, their Northwest rivals. Darwin Núñez seems to be misfiring. The goals have dried up for Luis Diaz. And my fear for Liverpool is that Mohamed Salah will be off to the AFCON. Give or take, Egypt are likely semi-finalists. It means that Liverpool will miss Mo Salah for about a month.
Yeah.
Where would the goals come from?
Difficult question right there. And the only club can really answer that, because as you said, Luis Diaz is not doing well. Darwin Núñez in tight spaces can give us composure in front of goal. You look at the supporters, maybe Gakpo will come from the bench, start some couple of games and maybe give, because I think he is the only person that I feel can deliver that goals for Liverpool going forward.
All right, talking about a team that isn't scared of putting teams to the sword, Real Madrid and in Jude Bellingham, they have the league's top scorer, 17 goals in 20 games in all competitions for Jude Bellingham. I'm asking the question again, can he sustain it? It is unprecedented for a midfielder in recent time. Not an attacking midfielder. Remember, he's a central midfielder. But these days with Real Madrid, he plays further up and he's been a revelation. Can he keep this momentum?
I think he can. If barring injuries, I think where I saw him play at the weekend, it was great. It was great. It was formidable, both attack-wise and also defensive-wise. In midfield, the presence was there. I think he can, because a lot of support cars that will help him with those inch-perfect courses, and his own is just to drop it into the net, and which he knows how to do best. Scored another brilliant goal yesterday. He's got Rodrigo by his side. He's got Vinicius, who could come from the bench or when he's back in the team, also contribute to goals. So I think he can. There's no so much pressure on him, because Rodrigo is also scoring a lot of goals, and he will just keep going, and hopefully he's not injured.
All right, so for Barcelona, more dropped points, and these days Xavi can catch a break. Do you think that at some point Laporta will pull the plug on Xavi's time at the club? Because it seems that there's a back and forth between club legend and coach and the president. I remember I felt like he was undermined in the Champions League game against Antwerp, where Xavi had released his team list and left out a couple of players. Laporta came back and said, we need to win the game because we need the money, we need the match bonus. And he undermined the coach. How long will this marriage last?
These issues is little, and maybe we might not pay so much attention to it, but it really matters. And if there's a lot of conflict of interest at Barcelona, all of this could maybe tend to lead to failure. And before I'm looking at it, I feel Xavi may be the one that could leave, because his numbers are the days are numbered already at the club due to result. They are winless in 3 games, and it's not really looking good for him. I think he has lost the plot, and maybe second time soon.
Yeah, for Atletico Madrid, they lost to Athletic Club Bilbao.
Shocking.
It was a shocking result there. I thought that maybe at most they drop, pick up a point, but Athletic Bilbao have also been really good this season. And in the Italian Serie A, Inter Milan are running away with the league title. Juventus dropped points. Milan won, but I think Milan are just far behind their city rivals. Roma also dropped points. But Lautaro Martinez, are we seeing a front runner for the 2024 Ballon d'Or?
Wow.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Not just in the league, but also in the Champions League. I think that Captain Amban has given him more responsibilities, and he seems to be thriving. on these responsibilities.
Yeah, all of this, factors is really contributing so well for him. He has scored the most goals in the calendar year, breaking Diego Milito's record of 28 goals. Scored 29 goal at the weekend, and Martinez has been great. I think he has been great. Nominees for Ballon d'Or, maybe not. I really don't know.
But there's a certain Bellingham. Madrid fans will tell you Bellingham is somewhere lurking. All right, before we say our goodbyes on the show, a couple of days ago, precisely on the 18th of December, it was the one-year anniversary where Lionel Messi led Argentina to the World Cup. And for some, he has completed football. You take a look at Messi's records. The number of goals, the trophies. He's won the Under-20 World Cup. He has an Olympic title. He has a World Cup. He has a Copa America. He has league titles. He has Champions League. He has the FIFA Club World Cup. He has Ballon d'Ors. He has Golden Boots. Do you think, I'm putting you on the spot now, is Messi the greatest player? Let me rephrase. Is Messi the greatest footballer of all time?
I think he's one of the greatest footballers.
Not the greatest.
No, not the greatest. There are a lot of great players. Cristiano Ronaldo is also one of the greatest players of all time. We've got a lot of them in the Asian past, and I think he has really done incredible things, in football. I can remember his transition back then in Barcelona, in terms of the kind of goals he was scoring. And look at all of this achievement. Is huge. Is top notch, and I think he's one of the greatest footballers.
All right, Bolu says one of the greatest. I'm sure a lot of Messi fans will disagree with Bolu, but in Argentina it is divided. On one part you have Diego Armando Maradona. On the other divide you have Lionel Messi. But Argentines will tell you it's a win-win for them if you have two of the greatest players in football history. That's the show for today. But we'll leave you with our video of the week. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms at Sports Pizza. And remember our YouTube page. We have lots of exciting videos for your viewing pleasure. Till we'll come your way same time next week. It is from me, Edwin, and from all of us from Sports Pizza. Have a fantastic week and compliments of the season.